All right, guys, credit to both teams. I thought it was a game that was really back and forth and hard fought. Not always, neither team shot it great, but credit to West Virginia. I think Josh and the staff's doing a great job with this group. Obviously it's unique when they've had their three leading scorers back now. So bringing those guys back, but they're gonna have a lot of quality wins with the talent they've now got on their roster that is eligible to play. So wish those guys well. Wish Josh and the staff well. It was back and forth. We knew obviously 1 and 21 and 3 were dynamic on the perimeter. I thought their backup big really hurt us on the glass, but our guys stepped up and made a lot of plays down the stretch. Outside of the 5 missed free throws down the stretch, I thought our guys stepped up and made a lot of plays, and I'm proud of them for that.
Both Jameson and Rody talked about connectivity. They said that they felt that was at a really high level even when things weren't going well. What did you see for your guys in that regard as they kept chipping away, and forcing it?
Yeah, no, I think I saw that too. I think in some ways, Adam, I think it it helps going through a little bit of what we went through at Penn State, where you just get to experience this wasn't a road environment, but West Virginia fans are unbelievable, and we had great fans here too. It was a really kind of a fun, neutral environment, but you could feel when they were getting rolling a little bit, the crowd, and I think the poise our guys play with, particularly in overtime, Adam, I think was a real testament to them.
What changed as the last couple of minutes where it just seemed like they kept coming, and then they obviously get to overtime?
We missed a couple open looks. They went zone to man there late and crawled up into Rody, and we just didn't. We've got to help them, and we've got to execute that better. But we just had a couple possessions where we just didn't have clean looks, and then they were getting downhill on us and getting on the glass on us. Their zone to man, their matchup bothered us a little bit, although I thought we'd have much better movement in the second half. But it's still something we've got to continue to work on and get better at. And we were better in this game than what we were in the Penn State game, but it's still something we got to get better with.
Coach, you jumped out to a 10-point lead early. You doubled them on assists and rebounds, kind of dominated early in the game. How do you kind of consistently keep that going within the full 40 minutes of the game?
Well, listen, I think college basketball is a game of runs. I mean, these guys were up 26-11 on Toledo, and then it came back and it was a one-possession game. You just realize that we knew that this was going to be a long game. They're too talented, too gifted. So we didn't, you never, in college basketball nowadays, you never look at a 10-point lead. And you just try to stay aggressive and make the next right play and figure out how to execute on both ends. But, a lead like that is not safe at any point, really, in college basketball anymore, given the three-point line and the speed and pace of the game and the ability and skill of players.
And also, what was the play that was drawn up at the end of the fourth quarter to kind of put them in the 40 minutes?
Yeah, they went zone to man, and we had a bit of isolation there that we were going to run. That we had scored a layup on earlier. We thought they would stay zone, and they went man. And then at that point, it's just your player really needs to go make a play in space. And I love the ball being in Roddy's hands. He just bobbled it. He just kind of fumbled it a little bit.
You guys had a stretch there, 6 minutes maybe in the first half where you didn't have to field goal. And then in the second half, you have a guy like Rody. It felt like guys were taking shots hoping that they would go in instead of having the confidence. And then he just kind of stepped up and took over in the second half. This is obviously a career high for him. Just what was he able to do and play with that confidence, I guess, that kind of lacking there in the first half? You mentioned in the first half, when he was out is when they made the run, and that hurt us because he was our most confident, aggressive player at that point. I had issue probably with maybe 3 or 4 shots in that stretch, but not all of them, Steve. I think some of them were really good. We've struggled shooting in NBA arenas, obviously. But I will give our guys credit. In the second half, Rody was consistently good throughout the game, but I thought Jameson's lift and then Bruce making a couple shots was huge for us. You you guys led for 36 and 40 minutes in the regulation. I asked the players, in a game like this, when it gets to overtime, sometimes that other team
Yeah.
will steal the game.
That's right.
Because now there's doubt in the mind of the team that led the whole way.
Yeah.
But your guys, your big three, each hit a three-pointer in there that kind of stabilized things. Just they played with great poise, perhaps.
They really did. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think there's a momentum shift when a team's been down the whole game and then they tie it in overtime. I think you're always concerned about that as a coach, and we just stressed aggressiveness coming out of. We really wanted to get the tip, and we stressed getting the tip and just being really aggressive coming out of overtime. And I thought our guys were aggressive. Yeah.
Coach, just from talking to Rody here, he seems like a very cool, kind of calm, collected kind of kid, and obviously this, overtime's a hectic situation. What is he like in those moments, and is he like that on the floor, like he was out here?
He's very calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very calm, low-key kid. It's tough to get him rattled at any moment. He's always been that way. He's just got a really disposition about him where it's, sometimes you're like, hey, Roddy, let's go, man. Where you at, man? Let's go. But it's just how he is as a player. And, I love that about him. In a game like this, you kind of need it because he's really steady.
Scott, difficult on West Virginia when several of their key players only played 2 or 3 games. And do you feel you had enough tape that you were comfortable or not?
I think we had enough tape, but it is challenging. Yeah, I think, given now you can go back and you can see all their actions from, or their tendencies from their previous schools. But still, we just knew we were facing such a different and more talented and explosive team than what we had seen on tape in those first couple. Like, I didn't even watch those first couple games because it's like you have 3 players who are so key to what they're doing that are such an integral part. So it was one of the most unique scouts I've had in 25 years. It really was.
The battle of the glass, you guys really had an advantage early. It seems
Yeah.
like it kind of maybe, I don't think, wore you down a little bit, but how did you see that change? What impact did you see in the second half?
Evan was great on the glass, and I thought Jamison was good on the glass too. We gave up too many second chance points in the closing 5 to 8 minutes. Adam, it's a constant push for us to continue to get better at that area. I thought we really imposed ourselves early offensively, and we're pretty good on the defensive glass, but we gave up too many in the second half stretch there. We've got to do that better. We've got to continue to coach that better. We've just got to get better on that end because that's, starting with Rutgers on Wednesday, who's a terrific rebounding team. Any other ones, guys? Do you have one more, Adam?
Yeah, I just wondered, like, you talked about Roddy a little bit.
We'll go one more.
When a game like this goes on and things are getting hectic and he's producing at the level that he is more than he ever has before, like, what are you seeing in a guy's eyes in those moments? Like, what are you seeing from him as he starts to take something over?
Yeah, I think there's a look at him when a guy's in a rhythm like that. That's why we wanted him with the ball in his hands in the last possession. Whatever defense they were going to show or play, we just wanted it in his hands, and we've got to figure out how to do that better. But he had a look in his eyes, and you can always tell that when a guy's in a rhythm like that, they have a certain look. The challenge for coaches is when a guy who's a good player is starting to question himself in the midst of the game. How do you get him, keep him confident? Because he's a good, talented player. He's struggling. So you really talk about him doing other things well and play to your strengths. Lose yourself in helping the team, and then hopefully your offense will come around. And we had a couple guys who were struggling early that did that. You don't worry. You don't touch the guys that have that look. It's like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Keep your distance. Just let them roll. Let them stay in that flow. And I probably just said 2 words to Roddy the whole game. So, all right, guys. Take care.